Hey guys, Condavour here. Have you ever been really excited about something and hyped it up in your mind and then ended up just being a bit disappointed? Because I know I used to do that for like video games when I was younger and thinking, oh, this one's going to be the next big one, and then it would just be okay or just not be notable. Well, this is kind of a situation with this firearm that isn't the CZ600's fault, and it's more so ammunition's fault, but it just kind of the addition of things ends up being a little disappointing. And I'm going to talk for a little bit, but I really want to hear what you guys have to say, because I want to know what you think I should do with this rifle. So let me start this off by saying I wanted to have a bolt action subsonic thrower. I wanted to throw the heaviest subsonic I could reasonably through what I prefer to be a 30 cal can. I mean, obviously this is a hybrid 46. I could have gone like some 35 or 38. I decided, I just wanted to stick to 7.62 by 39 or 300 blackout or even 9 mil. But when Hornady came out with a 255 grain subsonic 7.62 by 39, and I think they might have one in 300 blackout too, but I saw these first and I bought these first. And I thought, this is going to be cool. We're going to be able to see if we can have a really heavy slug coming out of a 30 cal, suppressed, keep it subsonic, nice and quiet. Well, unfortunately, I think the 16.2 inch barrel on here, I might have just lucked into a fast barrel, or maybe my ammunition isn't quite right. Because let me play a quick video for you of me shooting 9 rounds through this, all of which are subsonic 255 grain 7.62 by 39. Sticky there. That's a super. Sub. Right on the edge. Super. That one's also on the edge. It sounded crackling down range, but so I know I gave a little bit of narration there. A lot of those rounds are breaking the sound barrier, and they were doing it significantly so. Some of them you'd hear the crack word echo a bit, and it'd be like, okay, I think that, might have just been on the edge, or just out of the bore, it might have been breaking the sound barrier. But long story short, they're not staying subsonic. And I did the same with about 6 rounds of the brown bear. I mean, I shot a lot more. I shot a box and a half of this 255 grain stuff through it after putting a whole bunch of supers through this thing to break it in. And these subsonics, about 5 out of the 6 I shot were subsonic. 1 of them broke the sound barrier. Super. 196. Pretty flat. 255. About the same. Especially with today's weather, it was about 82, 83 degrees out. The speed of sound should have been a little bit over 1,140 feet per second. These are rated for 1,050 feet per second. And on their website, they claim a 20-inch test barrel. This is a 16.2-inch barrel. So maybe the bullet's slowing down by the time it gets to 20-inch with this load. When going in depth on the load, these rounds are, 7.62 by 39. I pulled a bullet, and you can see just how much bullet there is. That almost looks like it's a separate casing and cartridge. That's just the projectile. That is a long projectile. and getting the powder out of there. It's a flake style, kind of a round flake powder. There's about 10 grains in there. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think, because I want to make this a gun that shoots subsonics, or I want to have a bolt gun that shoots subsonics. Should I get a different gun? Should I wait for the 300 blackout version of this and sell this one? Should I go through and pull a little bit of powder out of every single one of these rounds that I've bought? Should I wait until Hornady releases these rounds or these projectiles separately and then load my own to not be supersonic? Should I modify this gun, chop it down to 14.5 and pin and weld a keymo suppressor mount onto it? Maybe that would lose me enough, enough velocity. The problem is, you have to remember also, I'm in an environment that gets cold, and so it's 80 degrees out now. In a few months, I'm going to go out shooting, and it's going to be 10 degrees out, and the speed of sound goes down the speed barrier goes down when it gets colder. So something that was making 1,050 feet per second could very well break the speed of sound when it's 0 degrees out here. So the only way to make sure that doesn't happen is either change the load or reduce the barrel length or do something to reduce the velocity. Anyway, guys, very curious what you think. Please leave a comment. I'm happy to talk to you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Should I just scrap this this idea? But I wanted to make a couple of notes about the CZ600. It's kind of a neat setup with the collapser. It's very unique for a bolt action. Obviously, there's wobble in the collapsing stock. Yes, it's going to wobble. It's a collapsing stock. It's going to have some wobble to it. The magazines are also weird because they use almost a Bren 2 7.62 magazine. You can actually, and you're going to forgive me before I show this because this was really nasty. I did this with a Dremel after a few beers. You can make these magazines fit by adapting that front lug. The lug on the 30 rounders is too wide at the front, and so you can actually make them fit. You might actually also adjust the little catch here a little bit, but not very much. So you can make a 30 rounder work in this thing. The other thing is that I've noticed it feels really gritty if you're using these, Barnaul rounds. I found that those feel really gritty in this action when you have a lot of them in a magazine. I found the polished, I don't remember what make these are, but I think these were sold as Golden Tiger, and these polished kind of darker steel go through the action a lot smoother, and what goes through the action even smoother are the brass. These brass cases are very, very nice. Like, if these were loaded 10% weaker, this would be amazing. Unfortunately, they aren't, and I'm gonna have to lose some velocity somewhere. So let me know what you guys think. Happy to take you guys along and what works for me and what doesn't. A lot of people just only show their successes, and this is just something that's kind of disappointed me. While it's not like the rifle's terrible or the ammunition's absolutely terrible, but it's just like a combination of, it's just not great. So anyway, guys, hope you have a good weekend. I'll see you guys later.